It is October 6, 2025, and I'm currently waiting for a phone call from Joe Exotic from prison. So we'll see. He confirmed for 10, and I think he's going to call, but anything's possible since we are dealing with someone who is currently in prison. I'm getting a phone call right now. Let's see if this works. And it's going to be on my phone, so I'm going to do speakerphone, and I'm sorry.
You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Joe.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call in all future, you may begin speaking now.
Name.
Joe, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Hi, thank you for joining us, Joe. I know we don't have a lot of time, but we are live on air right now with my show Inverted World, and we've talked over the past few years. I know you're in a really crazy situation, so let's use this time wisely. And first, we'll start with why you believe you're a political prisoner and what we can do to amplify your message.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong to this country, but, the reason why I say I'm a political prisoner is because the reason that they did this and they filmed Tiger King, because, I didn't film for Tiger King. They put me in prison, and then they filmed Tiger King. And it was to try and get the Big Cat Safety Act bill passed through Congress. So they made me out to be this crazy-ass tiger dude, and then they nicknamed the Big Cat Safety Act the Tiger King bill. And they got it passed because they made us all look like fools on television, and then President Biden signed it into law. And then good old Kamala Harris put on her Twitter and bragged for everybody to go watch Tiger King because she's the one who co-sponsored the Tiger King bill. So that's why I call myself a political prisoner.
So they created a narrative, you're saying, out of the TV show, framed you a certain way to help pass this law and turn you into this political prisoner. And
absolutely. They did the same thing to Tanya. Look what they did with Chimp Crazy.
Right. So you've been asking this administration for a pardon. How is that going? Have you had any conversations with the administration?
I've actually not had conversation with the administration, but the pardon attorney's office at the White House has emailed my lawyers and told them that my clemency was in the investigation stage, and they emailed the prison because my counselor called me in here to the prison office and showed me what he was responding with because they emailed him and wanted a status update on me. So it's going around the table. We're just, I guess, from what I hear on the news, there's problems with the deputy attorney general that's holding everything up for everybody because everybody's upset that there's nothing been done since May. So I guess they're deciding whether or not they're gonna keep him or fire him or what. But there's some pretty big lawyers. Peter Tickton, which is Trump's best friend and lawyer, he is demanding that they fire him because he represents a bunch of January 6ers that are still in prison.
Yeah, and those guys need to get out for sure. So the reason your story came back in the news recently, I saw the article by friend of mine, Cassandra McDonald, writing for the Gateway Pundit.
Right.
I love Cassandra, and she put out this article basically saying how contrasting your situation with the guy who threatened to assassinate Judge Kavanaugh.
Right. I mean, this guy.
This call is from a federal prison.
This guy went to Judge Kavanaugh's house intending on killing him, and then had a list of other judges. So he wasn't going to stop with just Brett Kavanaugh, and only got 8 years, and I got 21 for Carol Baskin, and my people all got on TV and admitted that they lied, and I'm still here serving a 21-year sentence when you can try and kill a Supreme Court judge and only get 8 years. This system is backwards.
we certainly have a messed up justice system. I don't think anyone can. It's a mess, and we know that guy went with weapons. He was ready to do horrible things. Let's talk about why you believe you've been framed.
Well, I mean, Alan Glover, the hitman, got on world television, and this is the part that I'll never understand, okay? He got on world television, admitted that I didn't give him money to go kill Carol, admitted that I didn't give him a phone to go kill Carol, and then took the producers of Tiger King and my lawyers to the zoo and showed them where he had hid a murder weapon in the woods behind the trailer he lived at, that him and Jeff's original plan was to kill me. And I'm the one in prison. Nobody's been charged with perjury, conspiracy to commit murder. And you got to keep in mind, when they were planning this, I was actually a gubernatorial candidate. So I was a political candidate that they had a whole plot to kill.
That's right. Didn't you also run for president?
I did.
That's
from
right.
prison.
From prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard you talk about why you think Trump should understand your situation. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, okay, and I speak for tens of thousands of people that are stuck in this system, okay? I'm not the only innocent person in prison, by no means, all right? But President Trump was indicted 94 times, and he was convicted 34 times before he got to be president, okay? I'm sure if he'd have lost, they'd still be after him, right? I was charged with just one charge, okay, and they arrested me. And the minute I didn't play by their rules and plead guilty, then they superseded me and charged me 22 more times. So our Constitution says two things that I was denied. One, not to have excessive bail. I was held without bail. They held me without bond. They kidnapped me. And then they kept me in solitary, so I couldn't help build a case or find evidence, okay? Two, I was entitled to a fair trial, all right? And the minute I asked for that trial, I was punished and charged with 22 more charges just so they can make sure something stuck.
Wow. Yeah. So the unending lawfare against American citizens, it's got to stop. So when it comes to your health, I know you've had some issues while in prison. Do you mind talking about those, what you've been going through?
Yeah, well, I was born with a disease called CVID, common variable immune disease. So I have to get blood infusions every month, and I've done that my whole life. But since I've came to federal prison, I've been through a year of chemo and radiation for prostate cancer, and now I'm dealing with prostate cancer and lung cancer. And then I just got all of my PET scans and CAT scans back a couple months ago. Now we can add coronary artery disease to that.
Sheesh, I'm sorry to hear that. How, I mean, I don't even know how to ask this, but how are you doing in there?
Well, I mean, I'm hanging in there the best I can, am I in pain every minute of every day? Absolutely. Do I bear through it because I don't want to turn into some kind of a pain pill addict? So I do everything with Tylenol to just bear the pain. You can't eat properly in here because they feed you the bottom of the barrel shit they can buy.
Right.
So the nutrition is hard to stay healthy. And I'm talking, again, I'm not the only one in here. There's people in here that are much sicker than I am. And our government doesn't give a shit.
Well,
our government has no right to talk about the care of any other country's prisons.
Yeah, we have, I think the most people in prison in this country, if I'm not mistaken.
We have more incarcerated by population than any country in the world.
Yeah. It's insane. The prison system.
And if you've ever been through our justice system, now you see why. I mean, look what they did to Trump. Look what they've done to me. I don't know if you might Google him. Andy the Hammer Anderson. He holds the world's title to 87 straight knockouts.
This call is from a federal prison.
And he's serving a 30-year sentence for conspiracy to distribute drugs, and they never even caught him with drugs.
Yeah, it's insane. There's so many stories like this of people in jail who don't, who shouldn't be there, or people who are there for way too long, or people who've been put in prison for, having marijuana, while politicians who put them there in the 90s are now decriminalizing it right now, which is also insane.
It is crazy. It is crazy. What's crazier is there's a 24-year-old guy here that's serving 20 years that stabbed his mom to death and drug her body out and set it on fire in the woods. And he's got a year less than I do.
Holy moly. Yep. That unfortunately sounds about right. So I know you talked about, I know we got a little bit of time left. I know you talked about the application a little bit and talking to the administration, but can you talk about what the clemency application means and what that it's about?
There's a difference between clemency and a pardon. Okay, some people think that nobody deserves a pardon. Okay, a pardon wipes your record completely clean. Okay, I filed for clemency. Okay, because I would have more of a chance of getting just a clemency, and what that means is time served. President Trump would commute my sentence down to time served with no probation or nothing, and I could go on my merry way. And why, Shane, I decided to do it that way is because I do look up to President Trump, and he is the president of the greatest country on this planet as a convicted felon. Okay? So, rather than to argue whether you agreed that I should have never sold a tiger cub or I had a permit to euthanize those 5, you give me time served. Let me go on my way, because I can still help the homeless and help sick children being a convicted felon, because my platform is big enough. I think I can survive.
Well, amen to that. How can people help? If they feel compelled to help you, what can they do?
The biggest thing is, because I don't like to ask for money, okay, so get on joeexoticofficial.com. If you want to help with the lawyer bills, buy you something. There's all kinds of cool gear there, and all those proceeds go to the lawyers. But the main thing is, get on joeexoticofficial.com, and on the drop-down box, there's an evidence link. And go watch the videos of not only them admitting to perjury and doing depositions of perjury, but we got 700 phone recordings from their very phones now. And the government agents were covering up rape and sex trafficking and bank fraud and identity theft, all for their witnesses, so they would lie about me under oath. It's all there. It'll completely stun you what our government hides.
Yeah, well, viewers of this show will not be surprised, because we talk about this kind of thing all the time. Lack of transparency, the two-tier justice system, how deranged everything is. It's crazy. So you've been in for 7 years already?
I'm going on 8, yeah.
Going on 8.
September, May 8th. Mm-hmm.
So the world has drastically changed in 8 years. It's wild to think. You're getting, I guess, access to the news and seeing what's going on this side of the world?
I watch the news every day. It's crazy how many mass shootings are going on out there. And the division of people, because especially with this immigration thing, I think, I don't know if we can handle 3 more years of this. I think that we're headed for a civil war. I really do.
Is that what you're thinking? Is that what people are saying in there with you? Do they agree?
Yeah. And we all sit here and watch the news, and as crazy as people are getting out there, I truly believe that we're headed for a civil war.
Wow, Joe. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to call in, and I'm happy to get to share this message with everybody out there.
I appreciate you giving me a voice, and if you would, send my people a link so they can share it with you.
I will, absolutely. All right, Joe. Okay. All the best.
Tell everybody out there that me and George appreciate their support. I send my love and respect to everybody.
All right, I will. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, there you have it, everybody. Joe Exotic calling from federal prison, wanting clemency.
He was right on time.
Right on. He said it'd be 10.